all doing well. This is the second edition of our lesson. Before we begin everything, let's go for the COVID-19 tips.
Here are some important tips to fight COVID-19, the pandemic. Wash the hands frequently with soap or sanitizer. Soap is an effective weapon to wash away the viruses and bacteria. Avoid unnecessary touching of eyes, nose, and mouth. Use your elbow to cover while sneezing or coughing. Wear a mask if you need to go out for any urgent work to protect yourself, and avoid close contact with people who are unwell. The minimum safe distance is 1 meter or 3 feet. Stay at home if you begin to feel unwell. Most importantly, don't self-medicate. Call your doctor and seek early medical help if you have persistent fever, cough, and difficulty in breathing. Don't worry, not all fever and cough are related to coronavirus. Let the healthcare provider diagnose it and follow the advice given by the doctor. Avoid handshake. Instead, greet people by folded hands and say namaste. Lastly, do not panic. Stay at home and keep social distance. Avoid going out in public. Let's fight this pandemic together. Stay safe.
Welcome back. Today our strand is going to be machines, and our sub-strand we're going to talk about simple machines. Do you get it? Now let's quickly move on and then revise our previous lesson that we had. We learned something about force, where we got to know the definition of force, which is a pull or a push. A pull or a push. How force causes movement on objects. How force causes movement on objects. We also learned something on that. A force can move a body at rest, where I explained, and I know you've remembered everything. The second one to be picked, something like a force can stop a moving body. Yeah, that is what we learned. Now let's quickly move on to today's lesson. We are going to learn about importance and maintenance of some simple machines. Importance and maintenance of some simple machines. Before we get there, let's look at some examples of simple machines and their pictures. Examples of simple machines and their pictures. You can see them from the screen. Now, the first point we have there is a pair of scissors. As usual, when your hairs are bushy, when you go to the barber, I think he uses the scissors to trim off your hair. It plays a major role. Let's look at the next one. We also have knife. It's very common in our various homes. At the kitchen, a knife plays a good role, as your mother used the knife to peel off plantain and so on and so forth. Now let's look at the other one too. We have bottle opener. Bottle opener. When your father buys Coke for you, what do you normally use to open the top? You use bottle opener. Those of you who are fond of using your teeth to open bottle tops, it's a bad practice. It's not a good practice. Yeah, it can cause harm to your teeth. The right to use is what you see there, and the name is bottle opener. Are you okay with me? Okay, let's move on to another example. That is a tin cutter, as the name implies, tin cutter. When your mother buys milk, when she buys sardine, when she buys tomato paste, normally they use the knife to cut the top, which is not the right tool for that. The right tool for that is what? Tin cutter. And let's look at the last one to talk of. Hammer. They are all simple machines. They are all simple machines. And you know the uses of the hammer. Let's quickly move on to importance of simple machines. Say that to me. Importance of simple machines. 1. It makes work easier and faster. It makes work easier and faster. It's so simple as ABC. You know, simple machines like what we just saw makes work easier and faster. Yeah, let's look at the second point, and that is simple machines do work that is too heavy for human beings. Are you okay? Yeah, they do work that is too heavy for human beings. Yeah, so I think it's self-explanatory. Work that human beings find it very difficult, or work that are very tedious for human beings. By the use of simple machines, everything will be okay. Yeah, so let's move on to point 3. Let's move on to the point. It causes less tiredness. It causes less tiredness. When we come to the school, we normally use the mower to weed around. And you see how it makes things easy. If you are to weed with a cutlass, look at how you get tired. Do you get it? That is nice of you. Let's look at the last point that I would like to talk of. Simple machines saves time and energy. It saves time and energy. Without a simple machine, we normally use a lot of energy. We also use a lot of time. But with simple machines, all these things we save them. And I think you've understood the importance of simple machines. Are you okay? That is nice. Let's now move on to ways of caring for machines. Ways of caring for machines. Point 1. Machines must be kept clean. Normally when we finish working with them, we just throw them away. We don't care about them, which is a bad practice. Now, as you are in the house, any machine, any simple machine that you are using, make sure you keep them clean. Let's move on to the second point. Check for signs of wear and tear. Check for signs of wear and tear. Whenever you see that your machine is worn out, you make sure you repair it. You don't leave it just like that. So always check the machine so that you can repair the machine. Do you get it? That is nice of you. You have to follow me. Okay, let's move on to point 3. Point 3. Oil the machine metal part to prevent rusting. Oil the machine metal part to prevent rusting. So if you have a pair of scissors there, if you have cutlass, if you have knife, you make sure you oil the metal part so that it wouldn't rust. Very good. Are you okay with the lesson? That is nice of you. Okay, let's look at the 4th point. That is point 4. Use appropriate tool for rightful job. As I was saying when we were looking at the examples of simple machines, some of you have been using your teeth as a tool, which is wrong. We don't use the teeth to take off bottle tops. The right tool to use is the bottle opener. Sorry, the bottle opener. So as you're saying, use appropriate tool for rightful job. Yeah, so we know what we use cutlass for, you know what we use scissors for, you also know what we use knives for. So you use the appropriate tool for rightful job. Let's look at the last point that I would like to talk of. Are you following the lesson? You better clap for yourselves. Very good. Point 5. Keep metallic machines safe from water. Keep metallic machines safe from water. Say it after me. Keep metallic machines safe from water. Wonderful. The reason why you are to keep metallic materials or machines from water is because when they come into contact with water, they rust. Or they rust. You see that brownish thing that normally you see on metals? That is rust. Yeah. And when it appears on the metallic part of your machine, it will spoil it. So ways of caring for machines, one thing that you have to take note is keep metallic machines safe from water. Are you okay with the lesson? Very good. Now, to end the lesson, we have to summarize everything. So let's summarize. Let me summarize for you. Today, we looked at examples of simple machines, of which you can mention many of them. We also looked at importance of simple machines, where you know all of them, and we also checked on ways of caring for machines, of which I explained everything clearly to all of you. That is nice. Now, to call it a day, let's take our assignment. Assignment for the day. 1. State 4 importance of simple machines. State 4 importance of simple machines. You see how simple it is? I know by now, if you were to be in the class, we would have finished everything within a second. Now, let's look at the question 2. State 5 ways of caring for simple machines. State 5 ways of caring for simple machines. On this note, I bring today's lesson to an end. Take good care of yourself and do what is expected of you. Bye-bye.